So please, don't try to search and seize people. Okay. Because you don't like them. Okay.
I'm asking for your supervisor.
I'm asking you to get over there on the sidewalk.
I'm asking you for your supervisor.
I'm asking for you to get over there on the sidewalk. Thank you.
Is your supervisor available?
I mean, where are you going? What business do you have? You just don't get to wander in here anytime you want.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have First Amendment protected business.
No, you don't.
You'd think cops would know the law better than anyone, but sometimes their arrogance gets the best of them. In this video, we're looking at cocky cops who got humiliated and taught a lesson after trying to flex their authority on the wrong people.
Sir, outside. Outside.
Am I being detained?
Sir, I'm asking you outside.
Am I being detained?
Sir, they do not want you here and you don't.
I am following all the rules.
Deputy Lorna Elders and Officer Corporal D. Hardy from the Richland County Sheriff's Department responded to a call for service after the postal manager lies to 911 because he didn't like that a man was filming with a camera, even though it was his constitutional right. However, their arrival only proves how little these officers actually understand their own job.
How we doing today?
Good, how are you?
Deputy Elders.
What can I do for you?
Well, I think they called 911 on me.
Okay, well, who are you? Why don't you tell me that?
Who am I? I'm a good citizen.
Okay.
I don't want to impede them.
Who are you? That's
What do you mean,
what
who
I'm
am
asking. Who are you? Who do you work for? What are you doing up here recording?
I? Well, it's my right as an American, as a free American. Am I breaking the law?
Sir, I'm asking you, have they asked you to leave from inside?
No, they haven't.
Okay.
They don't have any reason to ask me to leave.
Okay. Well, they can. They don't have to
You
have
think
a
so?
reason. They don't have to have a reason.
You think so?
Sir,
this is
give me a space.
This is federal property.
Give me a space.
Sure, yeah, 6 feet.
Yeah.
The rules are right there.
I want 18.
You want 18? All right, I'll give you 18.
Right from the start, the deputy tries the usual routine, demanding to know who the guy is, as if citizens are obligated to explain themselves for simply existing in public. It's almost painful to watch them make up rules on the spot. And just like that, the officers prove exactly why the camera is necessary.
Sir, outside. Outside.
Am I being detained?
Sir, I'm asking you outside.
Am I being detained?
Sir, they do not want you here and you don't.
I am following all the rules. I'm not breaking any law. Deputy, am I being detained?
Sir, I've asked you to step outside.
You're being a
I've
little...
asked you to step outside.
I think you can be a little
Sir,
nicer.
I've asked you to step outside nicely. You're being detained.
I'm being
Step
detained.
outside.
Very good. So I'm being detained. All right, she's calling for backup. I am being detained by this fine deputy. GC 80440. With her pink handcuffs. She doesn't even know how to park. That's some illegal parking right there.
Sir, do you have your ID on you?
For what?
Do you have your ID on you?
For what?
Okay.
Am I committing a crime?
No, sir, but you are being placed on trespass. So
Oh,
you need to
really?
get off of their property.
The guy is following all the rules, breaking zero laws, yet here comes the deputy demanding he step outside for no reason at all. When that doesn't work, she calls for backup, because apparently a citizen with a camera is too much to handle alone. It's clear she has no idea what she's doing. At this point, the only law being broken is her making up rules as she goes.
They haven't told me to leave.
Sir, they don't have to have a reason. It is their right. You're in my car, you're in my personal space. When I walk up and make contact with you, I'm asking you to back up. Back up.
This is United States postal property, federal property,
Yes,
public
sir, but
property.
anybody can ask you to leave the premises. They
That-
don't want you here.
You think so? You obviously don't know the law. I think you better call your supervisor. Can we get your supervisor out here? I'm asking for your supervisor. I'm asking for your supervisor.
I'm asking you to get over there on the sidewalk.
I'm asking you for your supervisor.
I'm asking for you to get over there on the sidewalk. Thank you.
Is your supervisor available?
Do I have a supervisor that's available that can head to 8505 to Knox Road, please?
The guy is standing on federal public property, fully within his rights. Yet the deputy insisted he could be charged with trespassing without committing a crime, as if public property suddenly works like someone's backyard. When challenged, instead of explaining the law, the officer just keeps repeating the same nonsense, digging himself into a deeper hole.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Sir, you don't have to commit a crime to be placed on no trespass. Just by you in here reporting people, they don't have to have a reason not to want you on property. That's just like if you were to call us to your property and you had someone that was
That's
on
private
your
property.
bothering you.
That's different.
And no, sir, it is no different.
This is not private property.
Sir.
This is not private
Sir,
property.
It doesn't matter. If
It
they
does
ask you-
matter. South
I'm
Carolina
not gonna
Supreme
argue with
Court
you. You're being
says it
placed
matters.
on trespass notice, okay?
We'll see when your
Trespass
supervisor
notice,
gets
we
here.
will. We will.
We'll see about that when your supervisor gets here.
Do you have your first and last name?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, cool.
I am not committing a
You're
crime.
being placed on no trespass notice, sir. You don't have to commit a crime to be placed on no trespass.
How long have you been a
You're
deputy?
placed on no trespass notice, sir.
Am I free to go?
No, you're not.
Then that's not how trespass
You're not.
works. That's not how
You're not.
trespass works.
You're detained. You're placed on no trespass notice.
How can I be on trespass if you're not giving me an opportunity to leave?
Sir, they've asked for you to be placed on it, and I'm placing you on
They
it.
don't know their rules and you don't know the
Sir,
law.
I am very well aware.
Is that them running code 3? You gonna run code
Sir,
3
I'm sorry
on
that you
committing
feel that way.
not a crime.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Here they come, rolling in hot.
It wasn't long before the supervisor arrived. At first, he played the part, calm and attentive, acting like he wanted to hear the guy out. He even seemed like he might actually help. But don't be fooled, this was just the setup. And soon enough, this cop would drop the act and reveal exactly who he really was.
Hey, sir, are you our supervisor?
I am a supervisor.
All right, how you doing?
All right, yourself.
Oh, you got a stripe? How you doing, Hardy?
Yes, sir. I'm Corporal Hardy. How can I help you?
Corporal Hardy, nice to see you. I came in here to take some photographs for news purposes.
Yes, sir.
And nobody asked me to leave. This deputy doesn't know the law, and I'm hoping you do. This is owned by the federal government. This is federal property, United States Post Office. This is a public area. Inside is a public lobby. Okay, so the branch manager stepped out, and she thought there was a sign on the door that said no photographing.
Okay.
And I stepped out and looked at all the signs. There are no signs saying no photographing. There is a poster 7 in here that gives the rules and regulations about photography and the conduct on postal property. I'll be glad to show it to you.
Okay.
And it allows me to do what I'm doing. Not only that, DHS memo came out that says photographs on all federal property, inside and outside in publicly accessible areas, is lawful activity.
Yes, sir.
And not to mention the First Amendment
Okay.
to the Constitution, and I'm here exercising my right to the First Amendment. And branch manager doesn't know her own rules and regulations, and she doesn't know the law.
Okay, so did they actually leave, sir?
No, they didn't.
They never actually leave?
No, and
So
they
if I
don't
go
have-
to that deputy in there right now, they want you to leave. Are you going to leave, sir?
Okay, well, let me follow up.
But instead of admitting they were wrong, the officer pivots to the last resort, claiming he caused a disturbance. It's a textbook move. When they can't legally justify their actions, they create a problem. And just like that, they flip the script, acting like he's the one causing trouble, even though the only ones escalating the situation are them.
No, you got. Are you were done or you weren't done?
No, I wasn't.
Finish,
done.
finish,
Okay.
finish,
They have
sir.
no reason to ask me to leave because I'm not breaking any of their rules or regulations.
Okay, but you have the right to refuse your service, sir. So basically, well, I'm
That's
asking
fine.
before we go in there. If they're going to ask them, they want you to leave, will you be willing to leave? If they,
Okay.
1 minute.
If-
If they say that, if she go in there and say they verify, they want you to leave at this point, will you leave location? sir?
Absolutely. If you
Okay.
tell me to leave, I will leave because I respect you. I respect the
They don't want you
deputies.
to trespass. They don't want you back here.
Okay.
I've already went inside and made contact.
But
with
just
them.
double check.
I'm
Double check. Do you have any idea, sir? They do
No,
want you on
sir.
trespassing
Okay.
location.
Well, that's unlawful.
No, so basically what you did, so basically they want you to leave. I'm gonna go verify.
Okay.
We want you to leave, and you're going back and forth, and that caused disturbance. So that's breach of peace, sir.
No,
that's
sir.
against the law.
That cause no.
Well, basically, that's
I've got it recorded.
Okay,
right
that's
here.
what I'm going to verify. But if
Well,
that's the case, you did basically start peace. That's breach of peace. That is a crime, sir.
Okay.
And I do need your ID for it.
Okay, now I understand that what they're telling you.
Yes, sir.
And I did not create any disturbance.
Are you able to wind it back so I can see?
Oh yeah, I've got
I'll
you're on
take a
live
look.
right here. I got a body cam here.
I'll take a
and
look,
I'm
sir. You said
recording
you
here.
caused disturbance. I'll take a
Well,
look.
I don't have to prove anything because I'm not.
Well, basically, I have your word to the word, and then basically they're saying you
Okay.
caused disturbance, and I'm assuming it's both being there because you said the branch matter came out, so it's multiple witnesses there say you will cause the disturbance. So I said that's consistent with breach of peace, sir, and I'm asking for your ID because that is a crime in South Carolina.
But here's the thing. Recording isn't a crime. Asking questions isn't a crime. Knowing your rights isn't a crime. The only thing disturbing the peace here is law enforcement making up reasons to harass a citizen. And with the camera rolling, this officer just handed over all the proof needed to show exactly how rights are trampled when cops don't know the law, or worse, when they don't care.
Okay, but I did not commit a crime.
I'm telling you did. I'm telling you, you
Okay.
started the peace,
All
sir.
right.
You started a data or operation of business.
No,
that is a crime in
there-
South Carolina. That's called breach of peace.
Well,
I need your ID.
Lying to 911 is also against the law.
Yes, it is, sir. But I had to verify that from you. You saying you have videos. So I'm asking to verify your part. You saying that they're lying about what you caused disturbance. So are you able to give me your ID so I can do what I have to do?
Is this a stop and ID state?
Huh? This is stop an ID state. Sir, I'm saying you're basically committing a crime, or breach of peace,
No, I'm
third
not.
peace. I'm telling you, that's where they're saying you're disturbing
Well,
peace,
they
sir.
can say whatever they want, but
Okay,
I'm not committing a crime.
I'm investigating that. I'm
Okay, I
detaining you for
understand
basically
that.
investigating that. So basically, I had a right to ask for your ID, and I'm asking for your ID for a breach of peace, sir. So I need
Okay.
your ID.
Okay, well, I did not commit a crime.
I'm telling you, you did. So basically,
How
I'm
do
saying
you know? You weren't even here.
disturbing peace. We have
You weren't
multiple
even
witnesses,
here.
sir. So basically, the branch matter, you say
Where's
you're
the
saying.
witnesses?
That is right there, sir. They're verifying with that. You are disturbing peace,
She
sir.
doesn't know her rules and regulations,
I'm
and
telling
I'll
you,
be
sir.
glad to show you that.
I'm telling you, sir. I need your ID.
Okay, I did not commit a breach of peace.
Well, okay, sir. Well, that's you. We are there in court. If it goes that far, but at this point, I'm saying inform you. Basically, you're informed. You are committing a crime for a breach of peace. You are disturbing the peace from what we got the call about, sir. We received the call now. We received the call for it. So you are disturbing the peace, sir. So basically, I'm asking your ID for violating that law.
Well,
so I need your ID.
And now we reach the predictable final step of this weak intimidation attempt, threatening arrest over a non-crime. The officer keeps repeating himself as if saying breach of peace enough times will suddenly make it true. The guy pushes back, rightfully asking for a supervisor because at this point it's clear the deputy is just making things up. But the officer just keeps pressing further.
Under threat of arrest, I will, but I'm not committing a crime.
Well, I explained my part too, sir. I explained why I'm asking your ID. I explained what crime I'm committing. You believe you broke. It was breach of peace.
Well,
I need
did
your
not.
ID.
I did not commit a crime.
Well, like I said, I explained what the crime is, sir, that I'm expecting you are doing. I said it's breach of peace. I need your ID.
I don't have my ID on me.
You have your name. What's your name, sir?
Am I being threatened with arrest?
You're being detained, sir, for basically
Okay.
investigating a crime.
I told you that.
Yeah, she
So
said she told me.
basically, I need your name. So what's your
Okay,
name?
being in detention in South Carolina does not require an ID.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm committed to suspecting you of a crime. Yes, it does, sir. I have the right to identify who you are. Yes,
So
you
you
are.
think this is a stop and ID state?
Sir, you about so.
Do you
Are you
understand?
refusing to identify
Can
who
I-
you are? Are
can
you
I get
refusing
you-
to identify who you are?
No,
sir?
I'm not. I
Okay,
don't have
so
anything to
I need
hide.
your,
I'm
I
not
need
a
your name,
criminal.
sir. You're not
I'm
refusing.
not a criminal. I don't break
If you're
the
not
law.
refusing, sir, I need your ID.
Can we get your supervisor out here?
No. This
Can
is
we
what
get a sergeant, please?
No, you're gonna
Can we
deal
get a
with
sergeant?
me.
6 feet, sir.
Sir.
6 feet.
Instead of actually knowing the law, the officer just keeps repeating the same nonsense. Then comes the predictable ID demand. South Carolina is not a stop and identify state, but that doesn't stop the officer from twisting the law to force compliance. The guy stands his ground, rightfully asking if he'll be arrested for refusing. And just when you think the excuses couldn't get any weaker, this officer will show you otherwise.
6 feet.
Now 6 feet, sir.
She
We were
wants
standing
18.
at this the whole time we were talking.
All right.
Now 6 feet, sir.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
What's your name, sir? What's your last name? Last name, sir?
Is this a stop and ID state?
Sir, are you refusing to identify who you are?
This is not a
Are you
stop and
refusing, sir?
this
Are
is
you
not.
refusing
I
to
am
identify
I
who you are, sir?
under threat of arrest. I will.
I'm saying, what's your last name, sir?
Are you going to arrest me if I don't show ID?
Sir, you are, like I told you, you are breaching peace right now, sir. You're disturbing the peace. You received a call about you. We had a complaint from the manager inside. You are disturbing the peace. You're
I
disturbing
am not disturbing the
Yes,
peace.
sir, you are.
I am not.
So if you don't refuse to identify who you are, yes, you probably will go to jail. I will give you for breach of peace, sir. So what's you going to do? What's your
If you're
answer?
threatening to take me to jail, I'll give you my name.
What's your ID, sir? What's your name?
Are you-
How did you get here, sir? How did you get here? Did you drive here?
Is that important?
Yeah, it is very important. Did you drive here, sir?
Oh, and here comes the captain. The last hope for some actual law enforcement instead of made-up nonsense. The officer, clearly flustered, scrambles to justify his actions, throwing out trespassing and breach of peace as if saying it fast enough will make it sound legitimate. But the guy calmly lays out the truth. He followed every rule, stayed in public areas, and never caused a disturbance.
Is this a sergeant?
No, this is my captain.
Oh, hey. How you doing, Captain?
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. How you doing?
Pretty good. This,
Shake your hand.
Yeah.
How are you?
Captain, I just want to say that you're one
What
of the
is
best
up?
captains I've ran into.
That's okay. That's okay. Appreciate
But,
it.
I walk. Okay,
So
well,
basically, they want more trespassing. He's basically, I told him, he's basically got called and told him to disturb the peace. I'm asking for his identification. I told him he's under detained. He refused to identify who he is, his identification, so they need to pay for trespass.
Captain, I'm not breaking any law. I came in here. I didn't disturb anybody. I came in here and I was recording the greeting cards, and I wasn't even aiming it at the employees or the customers at that time. And the branch manager came out and said, wanted to know who I was. She wouldn't identify herself. She wanted to know who I was with. I said I'm with myself, and she thought that the rules were on her door that said no photography. And I went and I looked and said, man, there's no rules. There's a poster 7 in here that allows photographs for news purposes in entrances, lobbies, foyers, and corridors, and that's where I've been. I haven't been in any restricted areas. I am completely following the law, and I'm following post office rules and regulations. But as we all know, the post office, they don't know their rules like they should know. So I'm here to kind of educate them that what I'm doing is lawful. I'm not creating any disturbance. Holding a camera does not create a disturbance.
And just like that, yet again, the truth is laid out plainly. No laws were broken, no disturbances were made, and even the postal inspector had already clarified what's allowed. The guy explains it calmly and clearly, proving that the only ones confused about the law are the officers themselves. He knows the law better than they do, but instead of admitting their mistake, they keep pushing a false narrative, hoping he'll back down.
He rolled up code 3 because elders. Captain, am I being detained, Captain?
No. I just want to talk.
Elders has got me detained.
You are detained.
I told him he was informing you.
Right now, you and I are talking.
Okay.
Good. All right. So, all right. How much longer do you plan on?
No, they're closing up. You know, and I really expected. I went downtown to the post office, walked all through there, 3 cameras rolling, nobody said a word. I didn't create any disturbance. The postal inspector was there.
Yeah.
He saw what I was
Did you talk to the postal?
Not that day, but I had previous phone conversations with him, and he kind of told me what's allowed and what they don't like. That, they don't like being filmed over the counter line.
Yeah.
And I tried to tell him that you can't trespass your eyes, what you can see from public spaces. But I'm not here to get anybody's information. I'm not here to create a disturbance. I'm here to make sure these employees know their rules and the Richland County deputies know the law, and these two don't know the law. They think this is a stop and ID state. Elders thinks you can trespass people from public property, and the trespassing statute that has been affirmed by the South Carolina Supreme Court says the trespassing statute is only for private property.
This guy even offers to sit down and talk like rational adults instead of turning this into a spectacle. But of course, that's not what the officers wanted. They wanted to flex their power and control the situation, even though they had no legal ground to stand on. Here, the officers escalate, detain, and make up laws on the fly.
Because
Well, she's not detaining you,
okay.
or at least not anymore. We'll discuss these points of law a little bit closer.
Yeah. It says the word till I go to the post office, where it is allowed. The Department of Homeland Security had put out a memo. It's allowed in public exterior and interior of publicly accessible areas. And the post office has a poster 7, which I tried to show Hardy. He didn't want to look at it, but it says news photographs for news purposes is allowed in entrances, lobbies, foyers, and corridors. I mean, but they don't know it. They think there's a sign on the door saying no photographs. So they need to be educated. And that's why I'm here.
Can we all get together and talk to them, and we all sit down and knock it out?
I think they've already done that.
Instead of making a show out of it?
They've already done that. That 2018 DHS memo that came out, That came out because of a court case. And the Department of Homeland Security, he's nodding his head like he knows what I'm talking about.
So are you going to visit every post
I
office?
am. I'm going to go to every sheriff's office, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a compliment. But I tell you, I go to Richland County, there's not a sign on the door. I walk in, the people behind the glass, they're friendly, they help, they answer questions, they're knowledgeable. So kudos to Richland County. But I did not expect this. I really did not.
Soon comes the final weak excuse. The classic, we have more important things to do. Suddenly, after escalating a non-crime into a 4-officer response, they want to blame him for wasting resources and their time. Never mind the fact that the post office called 911 unnecessarily. Never mind the fact that the officers detained him for no reason. Now suddenly, he's the problem.
I expected them to know the law a little better.
Sir, regardless, sir, this is I understand what you're doing, sir.
Yes, sir.
But this is a very busy area, sir. But a deputy had to come out here and I understand you're trying to do
Yeah.
this for you, right?
Well,
But
she
deputy
shouldn't have called back
I'll
up.
let you speak, sir. Listen to
Okay,
me,
go
sir.
ahead.
I understand that, sir. But it's a very busy area, sir. We deal with shooting.
I understand that.
This guy seen somebody with mental health deal with a gun, and deputy had to stop what they're doing to come deal with you with this, sir.
Well, let's take that up with the manager and-
You've done this multiple times, sir. This is not the first time you've done this. Obviously, it's not the first time you've done this, sir.
No, it's
You're
not.
wasting take away from resources by what you're doing.
I'm not.
He's correct.
I'm not going to be committing
correct.
any
You take
crime. I
away
promise you,
resources,
Captain. I'm not committing any crime, and I'm not going to do.
He is making a good point, though.
Yeah, I mean,
If we could do this in a lot better way, so
Yeah.
you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 deputies. that
well,
could
the
be actually-
manager didn't need to call 911. Elders didn't need to call for Code 3 backup, and I did ask for when I started talking to I forgot his name. I asked for a sergeant. I said, "Can we please get a sergeant?" Then you rolled up. I said, "The captain's here." I'm like, "Perfect."
I get you. I understand. I know the points of where you can be and all that kind of stuff. And I'm with you. Well, can we have a meeting with the postmaster general and talk to and meet with the guy at the top? Or
I
the
think
woman
all
at the
that's
top?
been done, but you know, when things filter down to the regular employees,
The officer at this point has no choice but to agree with this guy. He knows the guy is right. The rules were being followed, no laws were broken, and this entire mess could have been avoided if employees were properly trained. But will that actually change anything? That's the real question here.
you know, they take one thing and then they go a step further. You know, they say, well, you obviously can't go in here and film a movie or a commercial or anything like that. You have to have permission. So they think that applies to all, and it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't apply to the parking lot. So the
Well, it
parking
doesn't
lot-
apply to the publicly accessible areas.
Correct. That's what I'm talking about. Well, our public accessible areas. I understand. Okay. So we're done here.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring y'all all out there, but maybe they'll understand, and maybe could somebody go in there and talk to them, let them know that I'm not breaking any law. I'm within their rules and regulations.
I understand. You're right.
So when I come back out here again, they're not going to freak out and call 911.
Just don't come back out here again.
Am I being trespassed?
No, right,
promise you're not going to call 911 again.
Well, yeah.
We're just asking you not to waste our resources.
Well, you know, and I tried to talk to the manager, but she disappeared in the back. And
the issue is she might not be the one here next time either, so somebody else might be here that'll call 911. So that's
I asked for the postmaster, and they said that the postmaster is the manager. Well, most post offices have a separate position, but you would think the postmaster would know their own rules and regulations. I mean, what's over the postmaster?
Well, employees change.
Right.
Often.
And they need to be trained.
When you change employees frequently, sometimes things can become amiss.
And with that, the lesson is complete. Though it's questionable whether anyone actually learned from it. The guy sums it up perfectly. This was never about causing trouble, just exercising his rights and making sure both employees and law enforcement understand the law. And the reality? They shouldn't have even responded.
But we don't even take advantage of that.
Right.
Just train and
And
teach,
I'm not here.
right?
I'm
Train
just
and
here
teach.
to exercise my First Amendment right,
And you're
and to
allowed
make sure they know their own rules and regulations. And to check up on y'all too, to make sure y'all know the law. Y'all shouldn't even respond. It's, oh, a guy's recording in public. Okay, what did he do? Did he hit you over the head with the camera? I mean,
Okay. Well, we're all done.
okay, Captain, and you are
Sergeant Fergal.
Fergal. You look familiar. Are you famous?
I don't know about that.
Is he famous?
I've done a few things.
You been around?
My name's Don.
Don?
Yeah. Tell me your name again. First name?
I'll tell you.
Hey, we're on a first name basis, right?
I'll tell you.
Are we on a first name basis?
I'll tell you when they leave.
Come on.
Nah, this guy's trying to ID me.
All right, y'all.
Hey,
All right.
take care.
Drive careful. Have a night.
Okay.
These cops tried to enforce their own made-up rules, but this guy wasn't having it. He knew his rights, and before they realized it, their little power trip turned into a public humiliation. Maybe they scrambled to save face at the end, but the damage was done. They couldn't undo their mistakes and couldn't erase the proof of their incompetence. And speaking of cocky cops who got humiliated and learned a tough lesson, this case is a perfect example. What started as a simple visit to the courthouse quickly turned into something else when these two officers decided to make themselves the main event. They tried to assert their authority, but let's just say things didn't go as planned. Instead of a show of power, they ended up embarrassing themselves for everyone to see.
Hey, I don't need any help from you guys, brother. You doing all right?
Okay. What's this?
This here?
Yeah.
Like the phone or the... This is just a tripod.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just gonna bring this stuff in so that I could audio and audio-visually record my interactions with the government today.
Well, what government are you talking about?
The Stark County government.
There is no government per se takes place in this building. You're talking about like meetings?
There's no government that takes place? Are you guys government? You know what he's... You're doing a great job. I just want to get through, man. I just want to get through, and I'm not trying to get into an argument with you guys or anything.
You're not getting through.
What do you mean?
I mean, where are you going? What business do you have? You just
don't
get to wander in here anytime you want.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have First Amendment protected business.
No, you don't.
Sir,
this is a court.
It's a courthouse. There's a clerk, there's a prosecutor, there's a lot of stuff that goes on.
That's right.
Yeah, not just a court.
They're all part of the court system.
Okay.
What happens next is exactly what you'd expect from officers who think they have more power than they actually do. Instead of handling a simple situation with professionalism, they immediately go into intimidation mode, questioning things they have no business questioning. The guy remains calm, knowing his rights, while the officer scrambles to justify their actions with weak arguments and baseless claims. They try to block his entry, acting like they have some special authority.
So what authority do you have? What statute gives you the authority to deny me entrance to a public building?
You're not being denied entrance.
You just told me I couldn't come in here, so why don't you slow down, why don't you sit down, we'll calm down here, and let's figure this out.
Buddy.
No, you are the one who stood up out of your seat to assert something to me where you have no authority to assert it. So as a matter of fact, sir, I'd like to stop arguing with you. I'd like to get in here. I know the rules. There's a courtroom on the 3rd floor. There's a judicial rule 2.17 that says you cannot audio and visually record in areas immediately adjacent to the courtroom. But there's no rule, no law at all that says I cannot enter into this building while audio and visually recording.
So what is it you want to record?
My business. And as a matter of fact, right now, I don't care to tell you. There's no reason to tell you. And the reason your coworker is sitting here not saying anything is because he knows there's no reason to. Okay, then let me in. If there's nothing to record, I'll probably leave soon, won't I?
The officer fumbles through his own job description, hesitant to admit he has arrest powers, while still trying to act as if he has authority over the situation. It's almost like they don't even understand their own rules. Meanwhile, the guy keeps his composure, calmly exposing just how inconsistent and flimsy their logic is. Instead of enforcing the law, they resort to intimidation tactics, as if simply following someone around will somehow justify their nonsense. Spoiler alert, it won't.
I mean, why would I be in here recording something that I don't have, nothing? Obviously, there's something in here that I want to do, but I just don't feel like I have to tell you.
I'm going to go with you. Let's go.
Matter of fact, sir, I'd like you to, as soon as your job is concluded.
I don't want you to have a problem.
Oh, I have a problem.
Leave your building.
No, you leave your building.
Is it gonna go off?
Why
It should. We don't know, but it should.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm gonna put you on notice that you're a law enforcement officer, right?
No, I'm not a law enforcement officer.
What are you? A deputy?
No. I'm court security.
Okay, but you have an arrest power, right?
In this building, yes,
Stark
I do.
County Sheriff's Office. So are you
right.
employed by the court or the sheriff?
I'm employed by the sheriff.
So you're a law enforcement officer. You have a badge, right? Sir, can I ask you, are you a law enforcement?
You know what, dude?
I'm going to tell you, I don't want to be harassed by law enforcement. Law enforcement being around and following somebody would cause a reasonable person to be concerned for their safety.
Would it?
Yes.
And why would that be?
Every time. Why? Because you guys have an arrest power.
You don't do something wrong.
Yeah, if I did, people will call you.
And just when you think these guys couldn't embarrass themselves any further, they do. Instead of admitting they have no legal grounds to block entry, this officer doubles down on nonsense, insisting that the building isn't open to the public without being able to cite a single law to back it up. When called out, he has nothing but vague, empty statements, making it painfully obvious that he's just making up rules as he goes.
I don't believe you. You'll try it.
All right, if we want to play it like this, I can stand here until you decide to leave me alone.
Do you want to go on the first floor or the second floor?
I want you to leave me alone. And I could not be any more serious about that or clear. I want you to leave me alone.
Well, I really don't care. You're just not going anywhere in this building just because you want to. This building is not open to you to go any place you want.
It's not?
No, it is not.
What law is that, law enforcement officer? You don't know. You're ignorant. Man, this is a clown show. Go sit down, sir. Save yourself the embarrassment. It's going to be all over YouTube tomorrow.
That's good.
People are going to be calling you, telling you how ignorant you are. Probably just like the last guy. You're a Republican, are you?
The officer, now fully committed to his power trip, takes things a step further and storms into the prosecutor's office not to handle any real crime, but to try and run someone out of a public building for daring to ask questions. It's a pathetic attempt to assert dominance, but all he's really doing is proving how unprofessional and desperate he is.
Harassing somebody for no reason at all, just because he got a camera.
Old
timer, I bet when you were out on the streets, you would have hated these. I bet when you were out on the streets, you would have hated these, huh? Is it? Well, then why are you following me around like a criminal because I've got a camera?
I'm not following you like a criminal.
Do you follow everybody that comes in, or is it just me?
I don't follow anybody.
Then don't follow me.
And now we've reached the part where the officer, completely out of arguments, resorts to pure intimidation. He tries to claim the guy is harassing public officials, yet when asked if they actually requested him to intervene, his response is as flimsy as his authority. But when pressed for real consequences, he suddenly doesn't want to threaten arrest, yet keeps insisting the guy must leave. Then comes the classic cop move.
Are you harassing people here?
Sir, the only one harassing anybody is you.
You need to leave.
I'm asking questions to the prosecutor.
You need to leave. They don't want to talk to you. You're harassing them.
Did they ask you to
Yes,
tell me
they
to leave?
did. They called me. So
They called you? Are you going to threaten me with arrest?
No, I need you to get out.
If I don't leave, are you going to arrest me? I just want to know, because if there's an ultimatum, if there's an ultimatum, I'll leave.
I'll call the sheriff and find out what he wants to do with you.
How's that? If you want to threaten me to leave,
I'm not
I'll
here
leave.
to threaten anybody. You need to leave.
Or else.
You are interfering with them.
I'm going to leave because I'm assuming.
They're not here. You don't have the right to go into their office.
I'm not in their office. It says no public access beyond this point. It says it right there on the door, sir.
So what is it you want to do? Just sit here?
No, I just want to ask. I just want to ask a simple question.
What's the question?
The question is, why are they prosecuting somebody that's not done anything wrong? How is that a bad question to ask, sir? If you were being charged, you'd ask me. You'd ask me to come and tell these people. How do I know? Because I got 2 eyes and 2 ears.
You need to leave.
If you're going to threaten to arrest me, I'll leave right now. Tell me you'll arrest me, I'll leave. Tell me you'll arrest me if I don't leave, and I'll leave.
And just like that, the officer fully admits what this is really about: control and intimidation. And here's where it gets even uglier. This isn't an isolated incident. Instead of learning from their mistakes, they're still playing the same dirty games, trying to silence anyone who questions them. It's despicable. It's unacceptable. And as we can see, it's still happening.
I'm going to call the sheriff. And if he says, we will not threaten you to leave, we'll just arrest you.
that in the trespass law, you have to tell somebody. You have to give them what's called due notice. Yeah, well, I don't want to get kidnapped by you the same like you did with Michael Densmore and with Rebecca Reisner's husband. So I think that I'll just do what you say because I'm too scared to get kidnapped by you. But yeah, you should look up what happened to Mike Densmore, what your guys' office did to him. Do you know Mike? You know Mike? He asked a deputy why he wasn't sending his dog into a car 3 times, and he got kidnapped, tased, beaten, and held in a cage for 48 hours, and he just won a lawsuit against the county because they did all that stuff. And the last time that happened, the county, yes. The county hired employees, and the county's employees beat the hell out of him and tased him and threw him in a cage. The last time I was here, I asked the prosecutor, this happened in 2022, June of 2022, I believe. And you know what? I think it's disgusting that I come in here to ask questions just the same as I did in 2022. I came in here in 2022 and I asked those people the same questions that I'm trying to ask them today.
Still down here in first floor.
And he's trying to do stuff to me. This is despicable.
And now, the absurdity reaches a whole new level. After being denied basic access and treated like a criminal, the guy tries to do something as simple as filing a public records request, a completely legal and routine action. But instead of handling it properly, the officer fumbles, acting like he's not sure if that's even allowed. Then, just when you think the conversation couldn't get more ridiculous, the officer throws out the most laughable excuse yet.
Hi.
So, what are you doing now?
Now I'm going to have to ask for a public records request from you, man. They won't even do their job up there.
Public records for what?
I just want the names and salaries of every attorney in the prosecutor's office.
I don't know that I can give it.
I know. Like, I was trying to put it in there, but you saw your colleague was like, "Get out of here!" You know, he was all
Well, I'm not going to argue
crazy
with another on that. If you got pictures, take them and go on about your business. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That information should be available on the website, Indiana Gateway.
It is. I know that you're right, man. But I am so I can barely operate this damn thing. I'm an idiot when it comes to technology. I know for my generation, it seems like I should be.
That's my question. I mean, how do I know that when you first come in, you didn't have some kind of bomb in your place?
Because you ran me through a metal detector.
What if you had something particular enough that could go through the metal? I've never had a camera you brought through here. What if you had something special that would get through a metal detector? That's what I'm saying.
Like a camera?
What's that?
A camera? Or a bomb? I mean, what are you talking about?
Suggesting that the guy could have brought a bomb because he had a camera was pretty silly. That's right, in this officer's world, a citizen with a camera asking for public records is apparently a potential security threat. Never mind the fact that the guy already went through a metal detector. Just as the conversation exposes the sheer absurdity of these officers' logic, one of them decides to escalate.
I don't know that bombs can get through those. I don't know what those are all about.
If you had some kind of explosive that you could hook up for that, and don't act like I'm being stupid.
Dude, how many bomb cameras have you seen in your life?
What about the Unabomers?
It was sent in letters in the mail.
Okay.
But that was also back, what was it, 4 decades, 5 decades ago? It was a long time ago, sir.
I don't give a crap.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to.
Give a crap.
You don't need to.
I would let you come through here, but I'm not sure I would let your camera come through.
Well, and see if that's why this is so important, because bringing a camera in places is a
constitution. So you're just wanting
constitution.
to come in here to cause trouble so you can be somebody special?
No, you guys kidnapped 2 people.
I did not kidnap nobody.
You work for the department that did.
I'm sorry?
You work for the department that kidnapped 2 people. Michael Densmore and Rebecca Reisner's husband.
I wasn't working then, so I don't know.
Well, that's a good excuse, I guess. I guess that's a good excuse, I guess.
What do you mean that's a good excuse? I don't even know.
Can you believe he tried to kick his tripod? And instead of addressing the fact that an officer just kicked someone's property for no reason, his colleagues refused to acknowledge it, brushing it off like it never happened. When confronted, their response isn't to de-escalate, investigate, or even pretend to care. It's to dismiss the entire situation as if the guy is just trying to make himself look important. Classic gaslighting.
Hey, sir, you just saw that. No, don't walk away like you didn't see that. You saw that. You saw that. Do something about
Are you
that.
going outside? Are you going outside or are you staying?
I'd like you to talk to him.
Well, what do you want
Because
to do?
you just saw him kick my property. I don't even care that he gets, I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but he needs talked to. This is bad. You know what? I think that,
I think you're just trying to make yourself look important, and I don't.
I haven't been in front of this camera at all.
You're probably recording now, and I don't give a
I'm glad you don't give a
what you are.
I don't expect you to.
Well, then do what you want to do and go.
I don't want my camera kicked.
I
Could I come
really
over
don't
and
know
kick,
if
could I come and kick your chairs?
I don't know if you stuck it out in front of him when he was walking through.
You have eyes, you saw it. Don't make excuses. Can I come over and kick your chair?
Come over and kick it.
You don't care if I come over and kick your chair? You're not going to throw me in a cage for it? Okay. So when he comes out, we won't tell him. I'll come kick that chair and see what he does to me.
Okay, that's up to him. That ain't.
Exactly. You know what would happen.
Why are you trying to be something special?
I'm not trying to be anybody special. Your department.
And just like that, the situation goes from bad to downright childish. When the guy calls them out for their nonsense, suddenly their tough guy act crumbles. The moment they hear the word clown, it's like their entire world falls apart. And then, just to cap it all off, the officer tries another intimidation move, getting in his space and pretending like he needs to shove past him.
And the people that you work for kidnapped Michael Densmore and Rebecca Reisner's
Quit
husband.
saying me, because I was not around in 22.
Would you have stopped it? You didn't stop him kicking my camera. You wouldn't have stopped jack shit.
You stuck it out in front of him.
I didn't stick anything out in front of me. You're a thug. What's your name and badge number?
I don't have a badge number.
What's your name? What's your name?
Pudding.
What is it? Pudding Tang? Tell me again, I'll tell you the same? Something like that? I remember that saying, Grandpa. You lasted a lot longer than mine.
You start to call names, and
You're looking for trouble.
He's a grandpa.
Trying to cause trouble. You're an agitator.
You kicking my camera was trying to agitate
I
me.
didn't kick it. Did you see the size of my feet?
You're a fucking clown.
listen to that.
Now look who's calling names.
You are a clown.
What did you call me? What did you call me? You get the word for you.
I called you a clown.
No, you called me a clown.
Yeah, I called you a fucking clown.
Boogeyman's coming.
Don't touch me. Don't you touch me.
I'm trying to get my door closed.
Well, then
You're in
can
the
close
way.
it. You can go ahead and close it then.
Don't touch me.
You're in my way, sir. You're blocking a public entrance.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to close the door.
And now, the desperation has reached a whole new level. Caught with no valid excuse, the officer tries to play the victim, acting like the guy is somehow blocking his way. It's almost funny. He's the one escalating, yet suddenly he's the one being inconvenienced. The lack of self-awareness is almost impressive. At this point, it's just a sad, embarrassing attempt to avoid accountability.
Are you serious right now?
Yes, are you?
Yeah.
You're blocking the door.
You've been getting away with this stuff for far too long, haven't you? S. Buyer. Huh, okay. Buyer.
Backward move.
I'm not cackling, man. I'm just standing here.
That's it, man. He reminds me of. That's who it is. It's a communist.
Sir, you literally enforce the laws of the government. You're a commie. Like, literally, the communists did exactly what you're doing. I think that you just don't have any grasp on history.
How old are you?
It's none of your business.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
After all the harassment, now he's the one uncomfortable with transparency. But it gets even better, because now that the photo is a public record, meaning if he tries to delete it, he's destroying evidence. The tables have officially turned. No more hiding behind weak excuses or empty threats. And with the way this officer has handled himself, it's safe to say this won't be a good look when the public sees it.
Man, I feel sorry for people that dealt with you 30, 40 years ago.
Me too.
All right. Could you confirm, are you taking my picture on that? Don't take my picture. Because I'll get a copy of it. Right? That's actually another thing I'm going to go request a public record for. Your name is Cohen, C-O-W-E-N. Oh, Cohen. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go file for a public records request for that as well. But you know what I'll do? I'll go over to your department and do that, Mr. Cohen. All right? So just, hey, I want you to keep that because now it's a public record, and if you delete it, you will be deleting evidence, okay? So I don't want you to delete anything. Destroying a public record is a crime, okay? I'm just gonna put you on notice. All right? I know I have, and I think it's a good thing. So hopefully the next person that comes in here doesn't have to deal with your belligerent idiocy.
This guy immediately posted the video on his YouTube channel, exposing these policemen and their blatant ignorance. So what do you think? Do they deserve punishment for everything they've shown us? Let us know in the comments. And we're going to move on to an even worse case than this one. This time around, everything started when an officer, visibly rattled by a camera, suddenly decided that being watched was a crime. Ironic, given their love for surveillance. Instead of enforcing the law, they enforce their own fragile ego, demanding respect where none is due. They claim indifference, yet their clenched jaw and shifting stance tells another story. This isn't about public safety, it's about control. And when this control slips, these cops don't just lose their cool, they escalate.
You're the one. You follow me here, sir.
I can follow you all I want.
All right.
The Supreme Court says I can film my public officials.
You're right. You're exactly right. Did I say anything about you filming?
Again, you want to tell me I can't do stuff?
No, I haven't said anything about you. Film me all you want. I don't care.
You said I followed you here.
You did follow me here. Okay. All right. Okay.
Great, Honda Civic, Market 25 and Marco.
Good deal, bud.
So far, we've seen intimidation disguised as officer safety, selective equipment failures, and a cop who can't quite explain their own actions. But what happens when authority is questioned a little too much? Simple. The stakes get raised. But when logic fails, force takes over. And if you thought flimsy excuses were bad, wait until you see what happens when an officer starts grasping for control.
Well, this one right here don't because it's broke down, but the rest of them do. But I got a body cam.
Your dash cam is broke down?
Mm-hmm.
So you going through the parking lot earlier without your lights on, trying to creep up to me. And then shining your lights right in my face. And then telling me that I needed to turn off my headlights.
Yeah, because
it shined your headlights right in my face.
It was blinding me.
What? You asked me to leave.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, it does. It's called officer safety.
You asked me to leave. You could have just rolled down your window.
It's called officer safety.
You had to put your lights right. You didn't even have to get out of your car.
Okay. Is that why you're mad?
No.
Signal 9 with the last tag, kind of X-ray David, 64 Edward, 412 at Barrington.
What's mad is when you threaten me with obstruction.
Ah, and here it is. The moment when mere watching becomes a crime, at least in the eyes of an officer who equates questioning authority with obstruction. The cop admits they just assumed trouble was coming, because why wait for actual wrongdoing when you can just predict it? And now free speech gets a rebrand. It's no longer a constitutional right, it's jaw-jacking.
When all I'm doing is sitting in my truck,
This is true.
obstruction is watching.
I had the assumption. I had the assumption you was gonna get out of your truck and start jaw jacking like you're doing now. So I just.
Oh, I can't jaw jack. As you said. What's the First Amendment?
You can jaw jack me all you want. I don't care. But what I'm trying to do, official business.
It doesn't matter. I can still jaw jack all you want when you're doing official business, right? As you put it, jaw jack. Jaw jack. Not freedom of speech. You want to call it something else. My tag numbers? What you looking for?
I already got your tag number, Ben.
Without hesitation, authority speaks as if the law bends at its will. There is no need for suspicion, no requirement for a crime, just the sheer ability to act. The officer confidently declares that a license plate isn't personal property, but a state-owned marker, justifying limitless scrutiny under the guise of bureaucratic oversight. It's a clever distortion, a way to sidestep rights while maintaining an illusion of procedural correctness.
I don't have to have a crime or suspicion of a crime to run it.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The Constitution says that I have freedom.
Well,
You guys get to take it away because
that is an issued plate by the state of Arkansas. It's owned by the state of Arkansas. It's not your plate.
okay.
It's issued by you, so we can run it anytime we want to for any reason.
There's your guys' what they think. They should be able to do what they want, wherever they want. You can't stop and search and seize me for anything, but you can run my tag for anything you want. Yeah, but the Supreme Court says you can't stop and seize me.
I haven't stopped and seized you at all.
Oh, I know you haven't. Oh, I know. We would both know if you did. We would both know.
And so the incident continues, deflection, denial, and a masterclass in backpedaling. The officer, caught in his web of assumptions, now scrambles to reframe the narrative. What was once an accusation morphs into a misunderstanding, and what sounded like a threat is suddenly just a misinterpretation. Yet behind the feigned innocence lies a calculated move.
I would love for you to try to seize me.
Oh. West 6 How far up are you?
Coming hard.
Okay, if you turn around and come back down Main Street, just past the police office, courthouse, you'll see him on the left-hand side.
Throw out that obstruction a lot.
No, it's an assumption.
What?
It was an assumption. You know what you do when you assume.
You went to assumption.
Yeah.
You threatened me with a charge.
No, I didn't threaten you with the.
On my record, on my life.
I did not
Because you wanted
threaten you with the charge. I didn't say I want to. I didn't say I want to arrest you for obstruction. I didn't say nothing like that.
Cornered by his own words, the officer clings to semantics like a lifeline. He didn't threaten, he merely stated obstruction. He didn't yell, he just expected obedience in a hushed tone. Yet when the citizen refuses to bow, refusing to accept guilt where none exists, the mask of authority slips. The moment a badge is wielded not to uphold law, but to fabricate wrongdoing, its wearer earns a new title, tyrant.
Obstruction.
Okay, it wasn't a threat.
Absolutely
I just.
threatened me with obstruction.
Okay.
Didn't you?
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
You said you're obstructing.
I did. I was like, hey, you're obstructing what I'm doing.
I never obstructed you in any
Okay.
way, shape, or form.
Do me a favor.
I never obstruct you.
Quit yelling at me.
I can yell all I want.
Quit
Freedom of
I'm
speech.
I'm not yelling at you.
Freedom of speech.
I'm not yelling at you, so don't yell at me.
Raise your voice. I don't care. Good day. You threatened me with obstruction.
Okay.
You tried to get something out of me by saying I was doing a crime.
Okay.
That's what you just did.
Okay.
You're a tyrant.
Oh, a tyrant. Okay.
Absolutely. If you use crime against somebody when they're not committing a crime, that's a tyrant. You're using your badge, your lawful powers for unconstitutionally things.
And just like that, the cop swaps uncertainty for aggression, spinning suspicion out of thin air. Unable to justify his actions, the officer retreats into the well-worn excuse of assumption, as if a gut feeling is a legal standard here. But when intimidation and word games fail, the inevitable next step emerges: escalate. A sudden shift in tone, a call for backup, and out of nowhere, questions for the man who did nothing.
That's what you did, right? You tried
That's
to use crime against me.
That's how you perceive it, sir.
No, sir, that's not. You perceived it then. Explain yourself to me. Why did you tell me I was obstructing?
Well, when somebody follows me here, I'm assuming they're coming here to dick with me. So I figured that's what you was going to do. You're going to come dick with me, and I'm doing a lawful duty. So I was like,
I didn't dick with you until you threatened me with obstruction while I was sitting in my truck.
well, that's what I said. It was an assumption on my part that that's what you was going to do, or you wouldn't have had any reason to follow me here.
I followed you here because I have the rights to. Oh, you called backup?
Yeah.
Cool. For what?
Well, I'll have to explain that to you.
Do you have a warrant?
You have any weapons on you?
Do you have a warrant?
You have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
All right.
Do you have any warrants?
No.
Soon, officer safety will become the all-purpose excuse for unwarranted searches. No crime, no threat, just a legal firearm suddenly turned into probable cause. The suspect asserts his rights. But the officer had already decided compliance isn't optional, it's expected. The demand for a concealed carry permit reeks of desperation, anything to justify control. But then backup arrives, and with it, a second chance to reinforce the illusion of authority.
But there's
You're arresting me?
No. For my safety, I am going to pat you down for weapons.
No, sir. Not unless I'm breaking a law.
You are breaking a law.
What am I breaking a law?
I need your concealed handgun. Your concealed handgun
No,
permit?
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Let me go to my truck and get all the documentation.
It's
that
been
can prove
restricted
this.
by the Arkansas.
Okay. All right.
Just hand it over.
You do what you want to do right now. Go for
Hand it
it.
over.
Do what you want to
Hand it
do.
over.
Hi, I'm Ben Mann.
Steve Ridenour.
Steve what? Ridenour. Nice to meet you, sir. I'm glad you're here because he's trying to say that I have a suspended carry license, correct? Correct?
West 46 County, can you advise again
It's
if
coming up
Mr.
as
Mann's
kind of harsh, and I'm not.
concealed weapon
He's in my pocket.
license is suspended or
I
not?
have nothing on me, okay?
Listen, Mr.
I'm
Mann.
a First Amendment auditor.
Listen,
I
Mr.
do
Mann.
this for a living. I film and record people. Okay? All right.
And so, the citizen does what the officer dreads most, bringing the spotlight to the game being played. A camera, a platform, and a history of wrongful arrests paints a picture that can no longer be ignored. The officer's empty threats dissolve in real time, met with a calm defiance that refuses to submit. Yet, authority doesn't need to be right. It just needs to be relentless.
Listen. West 46 County, did you call me my last traffic?
West 46, I copy, stand by.
This is going on YouTube tomorrow. Just do what you're going to
Okay.
do.
I don't mind if it goes on YouTube.
Okay, I'm just telling you. I am upfront about everything. I was arrested in Barley and on false charges of harassment and obstruction, as you already threatened me tonight with obstruction, sir. So I was already falsely
I didn't threaten you. I assumed.
arrested in 3 different counties for this. I've been proven innocent in all 3 counties, okay, by the court system. I am still fighting with Barling to get my...
With every passing moment, the officer's desperation grows, clinging to a flimsy justification that is unraveling before him. The citizen, fully aware of his rights, lays out the truth. His license was reinstated, his record cleared, yet here he stands, once again, forced to prove his own innocence to an authority that refuses to listen. The demand is simple. Hand over something he doesn't even possess. But when legal arguments fail, what remains?
I have to send in the court documents that just happened to the state to get my card I can go and show you the information where they just gave me back the gun a few days ago.
Hey.
Sorry, it's
Okay?
Jason.
So whatever he's about to do, it's about to violate my rights.
All right. Benjamin Mann.
He's about to search me.
They told me that the concealed hand carry license had been suspended.
You're an eyewitness of this.
And I just need you verified over the radio.
Responsible in court as him,
Okay.
okay? And now I'm going to shut up. I'm going to plead the 5th.
Yeah,
and let
verified
you
over the
do
radio,
whatever you
please.
need to do.
I'm just here to back him up.
Bye.
I was
Listen,
forward
Mr.
with
Mann.
the whole conversation. Listen, plead the 5th. I have nothing else to say.
Did you hear that? Did you hear him confirm it? I just need it. Just hand it over. That's all you gotta
I
do.
already sent it to the state, man.
Well, then you'll get it back, man.
I don't
But right
have
now-
it. I don't have it. What are you going to do? Search me to get it?
With nowhere left to maneuver, the officer leans into aggression, grasping at control the only way he knows how: physical intimidation. A pat-down that wasn't a search. A concern for safety that conveniently overrides constitutional rights. The moment force is introduced, the game changes. It's no longer about suspicion, but submission. Yet the citizen refuses to shrink, standing firm in the one thing the officer cannot overpower: the law.
No.
Okay, then get the back in your car and leave me alone. get out and try to search me.
I didn't try to search
Yeah, you
you.
did. You said turn. You got anything on you? It's all on camera. Don't try that.
Yeah, I want to make sure you don't have a fucking weapon. Is that a problem?
It doesn't matter. If I had a weapon on my side right now, I could. I could have that weapon on my side.
Don't you.
Let's calm down.
Don't you. You just touched me.
Yeah,
You just hit me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Go back to your car, sir.
No, sir. I will stand right here. I have the right to leave. I have the right to stay.
Everybody just calm down, all right?
Don't try to do this to me tonight.
Don't follow me. Back up.
I can go wherever I want. You walk away. You walk away. You escalated this situation.
I didn't escalate nothing.
Yes, you did. You tried to search me for a fucking car.
I didn't try to search you.
Yeah, you did. You come around me, and I said, "Do I have a warning?"
It's called
yes.
a pat down.
That's the same thing as a search.
No, it's not.
Yes,
totally
it is.
different.
Stripped of reason, the officer doubles down, wielding authority like a weapon. If the law won't back him, intimidation will, a baseless frisk, an arbitrary demand, a blatant overreach masked as a procedure. All of this was about bending rules until compliance was the only option. But this man wasn't scared of them, and that's exactly what these cops didn't like.
No, it's
Totally
not.
different.
There is no safety for officers.
just let it
Pat
go, man.
down.
Let's
It's
calm
search
down.
and seize. It's search and seize.
No,
It's search and seize, period.
do your homework.
No, it's not.
You're the man.
You don't
Go
have
to
the
the law.
right to pat me down because
Go
you don't
to your
like
car.
me.
Go
You
to your car,
don't
please.
have the right
Please
to pat
go
me
to your
down
car.
because you don't like me.
Let's just call it, man. Let go. Hey,
Please go back to your vehicle.
Everybody calm down. Let's just...
Did you just see what he tried to do? He threatened me with obstruction first, and then he tried to take my card from me and try to cause a problem.
Because they're telling me it's seized.
Okay.
I gotta seize it.
I already sent it off to. They've already got all the paperwork.
Okay.
They've got the appeal.
And I
on
said
it,
okay.
And they've got all the court paperwork.
And I said okay.
All right, guys, let's just quit arguing out here. Let's just go, man.
So please.
Don't try to search and seize people
Okay.
because you don't like them.
Okay.
These cocky cops tried to appear smart and show off their power and authority, but instead, they ended up humiliated and learned a lesson. Hopefully, next time, they'll think twice before approaching someone at all. You wouldn't believe it, but the next video proves that some cops can be even worse. Just when you think you can't set the bar any lower, they find a way. Stick around because what you're about to see will shock you even more.